Hey everyone, I'm Evangeline right here at etrailer. Today we have the TST tire pressure monitoring system. This is the new touchscreen monitor, and it comes with sensors and allows you to check your tire pressure, your temperature, and a bunch of other things while you're on the road for that peace of mind. In our case here, we have our motorhome getting set up for a flat tow where they will be towing a vehicle behind them. If the motorhome has a blowout, they'll be able to tell right away from the vehicle. But if the car behind has a flat tire, they would have no idea until they pull over or hear a bunch of honking on the highway or have a tire pressure monitoring system for peace of mind. Here at etrailer, you get the full kit for your adventure. And this will include the cap sensors that secure onto your valve stem, the repeater that secures to your house battery, and your touchscreen monitor that does more than alert you if your tire pressure is low. There's plenty of other features to it too. You can also get this with different numbers of sensors that you may need, because you can tow or monitor up to 5 trailers with this system as long as you have enough sensors. So if you're not sure what type of sensors you may need, how many you may need, you are welcome to give us a call here at etrailer and we'll help you get figured out. So if you're curious though of how that monitor actually monitors things, let's hop on inside and take a look. The main things you'll be able to monitor is your temperature as well as your tire pressure. I can also make adjustments over time, whether it's I've had a tire rotation and just need to swap the tire sensor location, or if I need to add new sensors and learn those. If I'm connected or disconnecting from the trailer, I can tell the monitor to keep that in mind too. As an example of what an alert may sound like, well, let's go ahead and increase our necessary pressure. So let's say instead of 30, we'll turn this to 40. And then let's save that. You can hear our monitor go off to signal that we have low pressure, and it tells me which of the tires have low pressure. You can just tap the screen and that will quiet the monitor, but it'll still show you the low pressure sign. So I personally like this newer design from TST. I like the visibility of the monitor. The screen size is just large enough for easy visibility without being too distracting. The color display is very intuitive, and the alert system was pretty loud. So if the vehicle I was towing behind me had a flat or was losing air, I would know it before it was too late. Now it also has its own lithium battery in there, so it does last for a good amount of time, but things like the updated ports on it, the more modern look, the more modern feel is all good things for me. Plus how easy it is to move around, install, and its portability is always a perk. Now for those who may want to figure out, okay, well, how does the install process go? Is that something that I can do myself? It's going to be very fast, very simple. Stick around and I'll show you how. To install the tire sensors, the first thing I do is grab the monitor and I go over to the tire that we'll be installing these sensors on. This is a good time to check your valve stems as well as to check your cold tire pressure number. So on the trailer, in all honesty, I just check whatever it says on the trailer tire. It will usually give you a cold tire pressure. On a vehicle tire, it usually states the maximum tire pressure on the sidewall, so I'll have to check the vehicle for what they recommend the cold tire pressure number to be. So that way on the monitor, we can go to pressure alert setting. We'll click T1, and then this is where we'll set our cold pressure. In the case of this vehicle tire, it's gonna be a 35 PSI. So 35, exit, click exit again, and then exit and save. That way, once we start installing our sensors, it'll look for 35. Installation starts by removing the cover of your vehicle's valve stem, and then we're gonna just put this nut on over it. So this hex nut isn't particularly required, but it is very helpful and highly recommended so that your cap sensors are more difficult to take off for people just walking by. So once that finishes out on the thread, you can then thread on your cap sensors. And what I do is I just thread it till you can hear the air keep going past that until it makes either contact with the hex nut or goes as far as it can go. And from here, I can then turn the hex nut counterclockwise until it comes in contact with our cap sensor. So you're going to use the included tool that came with your sensors, and this will help you secure the nut onto that cap. And now if I tried to turn the cap sensor, it's not coming off. Now for the fun part, which is to calibrate all the sensors. So this has automatic code learning, and there is a sensor in the back of the monitor that reads the code off of the sensor. So we just need to go to code learning. We'll select trailer 1, and then we want to do the passenger side rear tire, which is going to be this one. And we're going to learn. And that like instantly read the code off of the sensor. That will also be printed in the front if you just want to double check. It is the same, so we're going to exit and save, and then we're going to continue learning the codes of the other sensors. Next is to install the repeater. This is going to be very helpful for making sure that your signal is constant, especially when you are driving. Now you're going to want to connect to your house battery or a 12-volt power source that will be constant as well. So recommendations are, if you have, let's say, a tow behind trailer, go ahead and connect to those batteries up front. In your fifth wheel, usually your battery is going to be underneath the pin area. And in the case of our motorhome here, there's usually like a basement battery somewhere. In our case, we have our batteries underneath the step. Since it's a little hard to show you how I am installing these underneath the step, I'm going to show you how I get them installed on this battery here. Get your red ring terminal. This is included with your repeater, and this will go onto the positive side of your battery. The black wire, or your ground wire, is going to go onto the negative side and secure that as well. Your repeater will have a light that turns on to tell you that it now has power and it's doing its job. Now you're going to want to secure the repeater to a spot that makes sense. And if your battery is inside a metal compartment, try to find a spot outside of that metal case so that you have a constant flow. So getting this on the trailer tongue or on the sidewall of your basement door, things like that would be good. You have the two holes on the end if you wanted. The kit includes 2 screws to bolt it down. You can also use this adhesive that has hook and loop straps. I like this one. It is a pretty secure fit and will secure the back of the repeater to whatever location you have this mounted. And now it's time to secure the mount to the vehicle. We're inside a motorhome here, so I always look to try to secure this to glass, but also make sure I'm not obstructing my view. So we have our side window here as a good example of how it mounts, but that wouldn't be where I particularly would place the display mount. So with this, you have a magnetic end on one side for your monitor, but then you also have a suction end to mount. And now you can mount your monitor. So with that in mind, a lot of people prefer very specific spots inside their vehicle or their motorhome because you have to consider that if you want to keep this charged as you drive, will the included charger fit to where your charging port is? Others, they want it a little closer up to where they are so it's a bit more visible, or they may have it on their console, things like that. So something that might help you out is that this will actually work with pretty much any magnetic car mount. I know there's a lot more options in that field for where you can mount those items, so you can use those with this if needed. You can also, if you have a magnetic case on your phone, use this mount. It's the exact same, or at least very similar technology to what you'll find on the market. So hopefully this helps you out with figuring out where might be the best spot for you and your monitor. For keeping your monitor charged, this does come with a USB-A to USB-C plug, as well as a 12-volt adapter. In our case here, we're able to plug straight into the USB-A port on the motorhome. And then the other end goes onto the monitor, and there's the USB-C port on that end. Now this does have a lithium battery in it, which lasts for a really long time. So for just a quick little trip, you should be good. But if you're driving for days on end, then having that plugged in while you drive is pretty helpful. My name is Evangeline, and I hope you enjoyed this journey.